All right, hello. This is John Krasinski of Pittsburgh Soccer Now. Really exciting first night in WPIL. Boys soccer, girls soccer had a few games, but our featured game tonight on Pittsburgh Soccer Now, we had the play-by-play with Mack was at Pine-Richland, where Pine-Richland rallied from a two-goal deficit against a pretty good Butler team, a Butler team that had some really good attacking players there. And Pine-Richland, you guys withstood. You were down 2-0. You withstood a lot of pressure, but somehow your kid showed a lot of character tonight, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that was a trend that we had last year, going down early. So, kind of familiar territory, not familiar territory that I wanted to deal with tonight. But, that's the situation we found ourselves in. And you're right. I mean, every single moment, every single game, we look to build some character and, add to our repertoire, moving forward. So, even though it wasn't what we wanted exactly, you can't, knock the result, a big point and a draw and against a good Butler team.
Yeah, can you talk about Landon from Butler? I mean, just what he can do, his ability, and how difficult was he to deal with tonight? And what was your game plan going into that match?
I mean, our game plan going into that match, like we knew of him from last year, it's obviously he's a very noteworthy player. So we knew we were going to have to, figure out a game plan towards him and gear it towards him based on what they did last year. But I'd have to say, he got even faster. Last year the kid can fly forward and he's very dangerous, a very nice finisher. But his 1v1 ability moving forward just kind of, frightens you a little bit when he turns with the ball. So, we tried to press him the best we possibly could, but like I said, he's a class player. So, it's no surprise he was able to do some damage. As far as the penalty goes, like I'm going to have to look back at the film because I honestly, I just saw both collide and then I saw the ball roll out. So I'm not going to say it was supposed to go one way or the other because I'm not 100% sure. But all in all, I thought our team just really played a very good performance. I thought, our style play kind of came out during the game. I thought we, had a lot of the ball for majority of the game. I will say, though, the overtimes, Butler, put together some damaging opportunities against us. So that was where I was worried the most.
Yeah, it seemed like after the fifth minute when they scored on the PK, after that, you guys had most of the spells of possession throughout the first half, and then, again, two early goals at the beginning of each half. That's something you're probably going to be talking to your kids about
Yeah.
in training.
It was funny. We talked about it coming off the field, how we need to actually, figure out something, to hopefully slow down Landon. I can't say stop because he is a great player, but I will say, slow him down. And what do you know? He comes out the second half, drives down, has some, clever touches and a nice tucked away finish. So what can you do?
Yeah. So you're down 2-0, but then, 52nd minute or so, you guys draw the foul, and what was there? Did you see a greater sense of urgency from your players, and what happened there?
I think the biggest thing that I saw with them is just the will to keep pushing forward. I think teams in that situation, a lesser team, might have just folded and collapsed at that point. But based on, all the returning guys that we have had, they've been in far worse situations. So they do feel the, maybe a little sense of urgency when they get into that situation, but still kind of calm. I think that was the best way I could describe our team. Like we didn't really adjust too much right away. We did for the second goal, but for the first goal, we just wanted to keep playing our style. We knew it was a matter of time before we had to see something, it would have just robbed us, if we would have had nothing to show for, I thought what was a pretty good performance out of our side.
Yeah, and obviously late, again, you had to be pushing. It was about what 6 minutes left or 7 minutes
Yeah.
left when you got the second goal. Maybe walk me through the second goal. People who didn't see the match, kind of
Yeah.
describe
So, I
that
mean,
one.
it was a beautiful ball into, and I can't remember who exactly. Once again, I love film, so I can always get back to it. Things were moving pretty fast at that point. But right into our 9, Mack, who took a beautiful first touch and then was able to dribble the keeper. And at first I was a little worried because I saw he timed the run perfectly. I saw he had what looked from my angle like an open look where he could have tucked it away. Then he decided to, dribble the keeper, put it on his left. Like, all right, he finished it. Class move there.
That's composure too. I mean,
Yeah,
to be able to do that.
it was nice to see that. And the funny thing is, I mean, he's a keeper by trade. So
Huh.
it's kind of fun to see, his characteristics come to life out in the field. But yeah, I mean, couldn't have done it without him in that moment.
Now, then you guys head to overtime, and obviously, you mentioned earlier at the beginning of the interview, Butler was really, I mean, they were countering. It seemed like they, when you guys were giving the ball away, I mean, they were quick to counter. They were quick to get it forward, and your keeper came up with some big plays as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of, building off of last year as well, his experience in a 4A division that's pretty difficult to be able to get those reps and those opportunities early on as a sophomore and now becoming a junior. You could just tell the change, right? I think most kids, you could see the change from sophomore to their junior and senior years, and you could definitely tell Bilt's a little bigger, even a little bit more athletic. But yeah, he pushed one. I think it was a Landon shot in double overtime off the post. But he just amazing composure from the kid. Not many mistakes, I think, at all that he made. And yeah, he kept us right in it. Once again, it was a really lot of back and forth game. It really was. Butler's counter is definitely dangerous. We had a lot of buildup, just not a lot of huge chances to show for it necessarily. But it was just, yeah, I can't praise Evan, though, in net enough. I mean, it was just a wonderful performance from him, and hopefully we keep seeing it moving forward.
Yeah, and obviously in your section tonight, Seneca and Fox Chapel, they're going to be tough opponents down the road, but I think you play Shaler next. Is that correct?
Yeah, we play Shaler on Wednesday and then Seneca Valley on Saturday.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always going to be a grind in your section, but
Yep.
but those two obviously got a heads up tonight, getting wins. But yeah, just looking forward to the grind. I mean, there's going to be 3 games some weeks, some games, 2 games some weeks, and just it's going to be tough, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to blink and the season will be over just for how fast paced it's already moving. It seemed like an eternity to get to this point. And now that we're here, I just feel like it's going to be gone in a blink of an eye. But yeah, it is difficult, especially with our section, because every single game's a battle. It doesn't matter who's at the bottom or at the top. I mean, if our section showed anything last year, anyone could beat anyone on any given night.
So any sort of final thoughts thinking about the fact that we are here? It's September 14th, the season started, and everything that we've gone through, obviously this is in the bigger picture of things. This isn't, that important, but still, what's the meaning of being able to get back and to play these games? And what was the atmosphere like tonight at Pine-Richland?
I mean, the atmosphere kind of seems normal besides, protocols that we took, and the mask being worn and the limiting that, or not having the handshaking and things like that. It felt like a pretty normal night, especially when they took the field. And I think that's the most important thing for these kids and for these coaches as well, that help them with this, but just that sense of, returning to normal, even though the outside world is still not very normal with everything going on, but it just kind of was an escape, and I think that was like the best thing that we can all get from this season. And I hope we're all able to get as many matches in, if not complete a season together, because I do think it's important, definitely important for our coaches, but even more important for these kids and just for them to, have that release.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, as always, it's great to talk to you after a match. I'm sure you appreciate talking after a win, but I think you'll take tonight's draw.
Yeah, I can't complain tonight, but it's always good talking to you too, John.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jordan. Appreciate it. And we'll be looking forward to really a lot of those matches the rest of the way, and definitely the rematch with Butler.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Take care, Jordan.
Have a good one.
All right.